Bye-bye.
This now viral video showing a dog get dumped on the side of the road in Surprise is catching the attention of state lawmakers. Police arrested 2 people on animal cruelty charges tied to that dumping.
And even the way the person inside the car says bye-bye, the whole thing is just awful, right? 12 News journalist Sean Rice looking into the crime this pair is charged with, and some think it's not serious enough, Sean.
Yeah, Troy and Rachel, that crime happened over the weekend. Surprise police say 26-year-old Priscilla Galanos and 20-year-old Logan Gamble were the 2 people inside that red car on Saturday afternoon when they forcibly pushed a dog out of a car, even uttering, as you heard, quote, bye-bye, as they left the dog behind. Now, after turning themselves in over the weekend, they're both now facing misdemeanor charges, meaning jail time for that crime is not certain.
Bye-bye.
It's a crime that simply hits you right in the heart and leaves some wondering why people could be so heartless.
You're just angry, and it's something that we're seeing daily more and more, and it just feels so helpless.
Heather Nicely, executive director of NACAR, it's a national animal rights nonprofit, says the reason behind people dumping an animal is multifaceted.
But it's actually very difficult to rehome your pet right now.
She says people often abandon animals because they simply can't afford them anymore. She also says there is a significant backlog to get an appointment at either an animal shelter or the Humane Society to legally surrender a pet.
We have an overpopulation right now that most people are unaware of, and they try to rehome and they wait till the last minute and then they say, okay, I guess I have to take my dog to the shelter. And surprise, surprise, that's not easy to do.
Another concern for the animal rights community is the level of punishment for knowingly dumping an animal. The maximum charge for that, a misdemeanor.
I think people just think, oh, cruelty to animals is a felony, and that's not necessarily true. The law has provisions, and it has to be egregious, and that level of the crime has to actually be higher in order to get that class 5 or class 6 felony. And so we're seeing a lot of misdemeanors being prosecuted.
When I just looked that up before you came in, I didn't think that was enough. I personally didn't think that was enough.
Republican State Senator Shauna Bullock, an animal lover herself and someone who has championed other pieces of legislation to protect animals, agrees. But any change to Arizona law is never an easy task.
I don't typically just draft something and say, let's see if it sticks. I'd rather talk to people who are actually on the ground. I don't want to have something out there that's not enforceable.
And Galanos and Gamble await their arraignment hearing in Surprise City Court in the coming weeks. If found guilty, the maximum punishment either could face is 6 months in jail. Now, as for that dog, Surprise police say their officers took him in, gave him warm food and warm shelter for several days, but he will soon be in the hands of the Arizona Humane Society, where hopefully he can find a loving home. Back to you guys.
Yeah, and Sean, I've heard that there's a massive interest to get this little puppy from people out there in the community,
Yes.
to adopt him.
But one thing Heather told me today is she has concern that the only animals people want are the ones that go quote unquote viral. This dog went viral. A lot of people have seen it all across the world. And so she wants more focus to be on the ones who need it that haven't been on social media all over the place. But there's certainly a need for that.
Sure, rightfully so. Sean, thank you for that report.